All right, Kev, we're going.
Ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Before I go any further, let me just welcome everyone to the first of 3 installments of our Money Makeover series. Appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules. And what we're going to do this evening, or for the next few evenings, is go over 6 steps to financial independence. All right, 6 tools that you want to, 6 concepts that you want to be aware of, whether it relates to your finances and things of that nature, to get yourself off to a better financial future. What we're going to do first, before I do any introduction or anything like that, we're going to play a little game. Just to warm ourselves up, and then we'll get into it. All right, everybody good? All right, this is gonna be a talk back situation. So I want everybody to talk to me. Let me know I'm on the right track. All right? All right. Good. All right. We have some refreshments coming, so that is on its way as well. All right. So. Everybody who's playing is in. Let's put the music back on. All right, let's get started. All right, first question here. A great way to help manage your finances is by making more money, getting you married and letting your spouse handle it, creating up and sticking to a budget, or winning the lottery. Alright, I know that was easy.
Shoot, I thought it was winning the lotto.
You thought it was winning the lottery? Alright. Tam is in the lead. Alright, the Federal Reserve recently stated that the average U.S. adult owes nearly how much in debt? Oops, sorry. Is it 8,000, 10,000, 5,000, or 6,000? All right, the answer was 6,000. That bad?
Not counting student loans, I take it.
That's true. All right. What mathematical concept shows how long it would take your money to double over time? Is it the rule of 2, the rule of 102, the rule of 72? My brain hurts right now. Alright, the rule of 72, and we'll get into that concept later on this evening. Alright, according to 2007 Goldman rate surveys, what percentage of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings? Is it 45%, 57%, 50%, or 65%? Good job. 57%. All right, question number 1. The only 2 ways to increase your discretionary income. Oh, this question is off. All right, so there's only 2 ways to increase your discretionary income. Is that true or false? There's only 2 ways to increase your discretionary income. That's actually true. And we'll discuss that later.
Unanimous.
The Economist reported in June 2014 that U.S. student loans exceeded how much in dollars? 1.2 billion, 2.3 billion, 3.2 trillion or 1.2 trillion? 1.2 trillion. There goes your student loan question, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last question. These are all options I can use to reduce debt except debt consolidation, ignore my debt and pray it goes away, bankruptcy, and debt negotiation. These are options I can use to reduce my debt except. All right. And we'll discuss those different types here as well tonight. All right, Mr. Corbett, my man, you won. Good job, man. I got some prizes here, some books. Well, this Penny Pinching Principles for Money-Wise Parents. I'm not a parent yet, so I already know that. We got Live, Save, Spend, Repeat. We got Common Sense Retirement, how to get more from your retirement plan. Or debt-free living. Which one? Yeah, options. All of these books. Come and choose, man. Come and choose. Everybody, let's give Corbin a hand. Thank you for playing. While Corbin is thinking, I'm going to show you a quick video giving you a little bit of overview of what we'll be going over. Good job. Thank you for choosing. Thank you for playing. What we've been going over tonight.
The last time you crushed a financial debt payment, rocked a savings goal that you thought was impossible, or hammered out a financial strategy that future you would be proud of? If it's been a while or maybe never, that's okay, because now could be a great time for a money makeover. Start hammering it out with the 6 steps to financial independence. The first step is debt management. Step number 2, create an emergency fund. Step 3, establish cash flow. 4, secure the proper protection you need. Step number 5, build wealth. And estate preservation is step number 6. Check out the money makeover tips we've collected for each of the 6 steps to get practical ideas and insightful concepts. Why? Because financial knowledge can change people's lives. You've seen here before. Now it's time to see what your after could look like. Get with your financial professional to learn how to apply the 6 steps and our money makeover tips to pursue the future you see.
All right. So, for those who don't know me, my name is Kevin Ploche. And again, we'll be going over 6 steps to financial independence. And before we go into that, into the first 2, give you a little bit about myself and what qualifies me before we get this information. How many of us here, either yourself or your family, was not born here in the United States? Either yourself was not or your family was not. Right, most of us in here. All right, so you'll relate to my story a little bit. My family migrated here from the island of Jamaica. And what you realize and what you probably found out is that life is much different in the islands than it is in the United States of America. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
All right. One of the ways is how money works. Right. We're told here that we're supposed to make money. We pay our bills, and then we figure out what to do with what's left over, if there's anything left over. Right. But as you know, as you grow older, you realize that there's much more to it than that. All right. One thing that my parents did tell us is that we got to go to school, get good grades, get a degree, and work for a company for 30, 40 years and retire. Right? You guys heard that before, right? All right. So that's what we did. Now, as I was thinking of a career choice, I said, I want to actually do something that will impact not only myself, but my family and others. Because my family really struggled because they didn't understand how money worked. Or life could have been better if they got an education on how money worked, right? Not to mention that we had a semi-large family, 5 kids, 4 boys, 1 girl, all right? So I wouldn't trade it for the world, but at the same time, it could have been better if someone would have sat down with my parents and educated them on how money should work for them. All right. So I said, if I'm gonna choose a career path, I want to choose it around that sentiment, understanding numbers, understanding money, so that we can have a better life for not only myself but my family later on. So I chose finance. Went to Florida International University, got a degree in finance, and then I started working for the big firms like they told me to. Worked in accounting, started out in accounting, and after a few years of accounting, I realized I really wasn't doing what I wanted to do, which was educating families, small businesses, and educating them how their money should be working for them. But what I was doing was making those companies more money, and they were paying me just a little bit to get it done. All right. I actually moved here to Orlando about 2007, 2008. Got married to my beautiful wife, who you can see somewhere around here. Yeah, she's in there making the food look good. 2 wonderful kids who you'll see probably running around here somewhere. Got married, and it was actually my mother-in-law who actually challenged me to really look at a different industry, and it was the financial service industry. And she said, with the qualification that you have, you should definitely check out the industry. And when I did, I realized that this was the industry for me. Because now every day of the week, I'm educating families, I'm educating small businesses on how money should be working for them. So I started in 2008, and it's been almost 10 years that I've been in the industry. And it's been a wonderful situation, all right? Because like I said again, I'm actually doing what I want to do, which is educating families on a day-to-day basis. That's a little bit about me, all right? And as you saw on the video, there are 6 areas of your finances that you wanna pay close attention to, all right? Now, the video and the slideshow goes in a different order than we're gonna go into these next 3 Thursdays. The first 2 that we're going to cover, as you saw in the flyer, is cash flow and debt management. The reason why I'm flipping it around is because when I'm sitting out with families, that's the order that we go in. Because in order to understand what to do with your money, you got to understand what's coming in and what's going out on a monthly basis, and understand how to manage those expenses. Right? So that's actually where we're going to begin. All right? And what I would like to do is go over these 2 concepts, and then if there's any questions, I'll be sure to take some questions. All right? Everybody good? All right, awesome. So the first one is cash flow. All right? Now, before I get into any of the concepts, an overall principle when you're dealing with your finances is that you should be dealing with your finances just like a business deals with their finances. You should be running your household as if it were a business, right? Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Now here's my point. Here's my point with that. If you were to take your finances right now, right, and stack it up to a Fortune 500 company, not how much you make, but how you manage it, would you say that you were a successful company or not so successful? Right? If you answer the latter, then you should be really considering to change the way that you do things, because what you don't want to have is time flies, and what you realize is that 10 years, 20 years goes by super fast, and what you don't want to be is 40, 35, 50 years old, and now start to begin to think, oh, I think I should have way more money than I do right now, because you're looking closer to retirement than you are to the beginning. So understanding that you want to have your finances, you want to run your finances just like a business would run their finances, right? And what do I mean by that? I mean that they would have everything highlighted, everything organized, everything written out in some way, shape, or form. Why? Because they understand that they would have to report them to someone, right? Their shareholders, right? And if one of their shareholders asked them a question, what happened last month with our electric bill, right? They can't say, well, something possibly happened, but I really don't know. They can't do that, can they? Or if they said, let's say for instance they were in groceries and they said, well, why did we spike 10% in our groceries this month? Well, I just took a couple more trips to the grocery store this month. That's what I could get. Right? They can't operate like that, right? Or else they'll be out of business. Or they'll be looking for another CFO, right? So, overall concept. So, let's get into cash flow. Now, what does cash flow mean? Can anybody tell me what cash flow means?
The amount of money coming in.
Say again?
The amount of money coming in.
Amount of money coming in. All right. Anybody else? I was looking for that clicker. I didn't see it, Jay. So what cash flow really means is what comes in and what goes out on a monthly basis, right? Whenever you're talking about flow, you want to see it's just like the water, right? What comes in, what goes out on a monthly basis, all right? Now, after you determine what comes in and what goes out on a monthly basis, you're going to have what's called either discretionary income or a deficit, depending on where you land after you take out all the expenses from your